of Vrindavan, the different temples, the one, Upavan, forest, sub-forest, everything. Srila Indradom Swami Maharaj is covering. Is covering.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दोनों प्रणाम। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दोनों प्रणाम।
Pranam. Yeah, so we'll wait for 2-3 minutes, then we will start. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
दंडवत।
Pranam. It's 7:35. We can start now. Hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
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 Thank you. So let's start with Pranam Mantra. Anybody would like to start?
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं
Sadvaitam.
साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णापदां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Jai Shri
जय श्री कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य
Chaitanya
प्रभु
Prabhu
नित्यानंद
Nityananda
श्री
Shri
अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Om Vishnu Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, what we are doing? So, we are doing Bhishma Stuti, right? So, anybody remember what we did last week? So, we are on text 38. So, we started Bhishma Stuti from text number 32, actually, 33, 34. So, just a little bit overview before we move on. So, these are the Bhishma Stuti. So, what is the sequence? Anybody would like to say anything? Like what's going on here? That we all will read together and we'll share our thoughts. That would be really nice if you all can help me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Bhishma Pitama is laying on a bed of arrow, and then he's just like waiting for Krishna's mercy, and there he is reminding and remembering his all names and stuti. He's doing basically the stuti of Krishna.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Anita Mataji is right. So we are doing Bhishma Stuti, and Bhishma Pitama is laying on the bed of arrows. And it was like about 54 days or something. So he's laying on the bed and he's waiting for Krishna, and Krishna is already there, like all the Maharishi and everybody came there. So now finally Krishna is here, and Krishna and Bhishma Pitama is doing his offering his prayers to Krishna. So basically in the first one, like as we read, like in the first stuti, first verse, let's read this quickly. Shri Bhishma Vacha Iti Mate Upakalpita Vidashna Bhagavati Sattvatam Pungave Vibhumini Swasukhamupagata Kvachita Viharatam Prakartimupyoshu Yadbhava Prabha. So basically, in this stuti, what Bhishma Pitama is saying, let me invest my thinking. What he's saying, let me invest my mati. Mati is what? Like our buddhi, thinking, willingness, knowledge, feeling. Let me invest my mati on Krishna, right? So the key word here is let me invest my mati on Shri Krishna. And going forward, like in the next one, what Bhishma Pitama was saying here in this one, the Rati, Vijay Sakhe Ratir Astu Me Navada. So what he's saying in the second verse, first one was what he was like saying, let me invest my, what he was investing in the first verse?
There's thinking, willing, and feeling.
Yeah, he was investing his mati, right? Thinking. And in the next verse, what he's saying, let me invest my rati. Rati is what? My, like in English, they say attraction. Attraction. Let me invest my all the attraction on Lord Shri Krishna. Okay. So first one was Mati, second one is Rati. Let me invest my Rati for Vijay Sakha. Vijay Sakhe Ratir Astu Me Novada. So let me invest my Rati on Shri Krishna. And then let's move on to the 34th. So here in this, again, what Krishna is saying? Mati. Let me invest my Mati on whom? Shri Krishna. Which Shri Krishna? The Parthsarthi form of Shri Krishna. Okay, so again here he's saying, let me invest my Mati on Shri Krishna. Okay, so let's move on. Rati is done, Mati is done. So today we will learn about the third thing, what he's asking for. Then in the 35th shloka, so what he was saying, the summary is like what he was saying, that all the soldiers, even on the opposite party, they got delivered, right? By simply, he shortened the lifespan of the opposite party by his merciful glance. Such a beautiful prayer, right? So Bhishma Dev is saying ki even the opposite party soldiers, they got delivered. How they got delivered? By Krishna's merciful glance. Okay, so this is on 36th and 35th, 36th. Yeah, so 36th we covered last week. Anybody would like to say what we said in the 36th? Here is also Charana Rati. So whom he's asking to have his Rati? He's asking for Rati on Krishna's lotus feet. When Arjuna was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. So may his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction. So now Krishna is focusing his attraction on the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. Okay? But by how, like he's saying, you eradicated, Arjuna was bewildered, right? So Krishna eradicated his bewilderance by giving him the transcendental knowledge. What he did? Atma Vidya, like Bhagavad Gita Gyan he gave him. Because Arjuna was bewildered, he was not ready to fight, as we discussed in the last week's class, right? So he gave him transcendental knowledge and he got ready to fight. Okay, so now next one. Anybody know what happened in the next verse? Anybody would like to say anything? Okay.
He's
So,
saying about fulfilling his vow by sacrificing his own promise. Like when Krishna got down from the chariot, he was running towards Bhishma Pitama, basically to kill him, but he did not want to. So Bhishma Pitama wanted Krishna to break his vow that he will never lift any weapon, but he ran towards Bhishma Pitama as if like he was going to kill him, and he lifted that the wheel of the chariot.
okay, yeah. So basically, Lord breaks his own vow because Lord took a vow that he will not lift any weapons in the in the war, right? In the Kurukshetra war. But just to keep the promise of his pure devotee, Bhishma Dev, he broke his own vow to keep the promise of his own devotee. To keep the promise of his pure devotee, he break his own vow. Right? So because Bhishma Dev, initially he took a vow that tomorrow morning the Pandavas will be killed in tomorrow's morning war. But Krishna played a trick and he took those 5 arrows from Bhishma Pitama by sending Draupadi, and then Bhishma Dev know that this is the plan of Krishna. So he took another vow. So now tomorrow morning, uh, like tomorrow morning, Arjun will be killed, or Krishna had to lift the weapons. So just to keep the vow of his pure devotee, Krishna break his own vow of lifting the weapons. So this is the like little bit background. So now here next let's move on to the another verse. So Krishna focused his Rati on Bhishma Dev focused his Mati on Krishna, Rati on Krishna. Now in next one, he's gonna do something else. Shita Vishako Hato Vishrinadam Shita Vishakhato Vishninadam Shataja Pariplut Atataino Me Prasabhabhisasar Madvadartha Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda Shita Vishakhato Vishlinadam Shataja Pariplut Atataino Me Prasabhabhimasasar Madvadartha Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda. Anybody would like to recite?
Yeah, Mataji, I can try.
Okay.
Teta Vishika Hato Vishirna Dansha Shata Japari Pluta Atataino Me Prasabhama Abhisasara Madhvadhartham Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatirmukunda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else?
Shekhavishakhato Vishnadanshaha Shataja Pariplupta Atata Inome Prasabhamabhisara Madhyadhartham Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else was about to recite? Someone was trying to recite.
I can try.
Yeah, uncle, please.
Shita Vishikhato Vishirsandansha Kshataja Paripluta Atataino Me Prasabhamabhisasara Madhyartha Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda. Hare
Very well. Thank you, uncle. Anybody else? These are such a beautiful verses. If anybody would like to recite. Let's move on to translation. May Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who awards salvation, may he, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who awards salvation, be my ultimate destination. On the battlefield, he charged me, as if angry, because of the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows. His shield was scattered, and his body was smeared with blood due to the wounds. Jai Srila Prabhupada, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Anybody wants to read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Yeah, I can read. Purport. The dealings of Lord Krishna and Bhishma Dev on the battlefield of Kurukshetra are interesting because the activities of Lord Sri Krishna appear to be partial to Arjuna and at enmity with Bhishma Dev. But factually, all this was especially meant to show special favor to Bhishma Dev, a great devotee of the Lord. The astounding feature of such dealings is that the devotees can please the Lord by playing the part of an enemy. The Lord, being absolute, can accept service from his pure devotee even in the garb of an enemy. The Supreme Lord cannot have any enemy, nor can a so-called enemy harm him because he is Ajit or unconquerable. But still he takes pleasure when his pure devotee beats him like an enemy or rebukes him from a superior position. Although no one can be superior to the Lord, these are some of the transcendental reciprocatory dealings of the devotee with the Lord. And those who have no information of the pure devotional service cannot penetrate into mystery of such dealings. Bhishmadev played the part of a valiant warrior, and he purposely pierced the body of the Lord so that to the common eyes it appeared that the Lord was wounded. But factually, all this was to bewilder the non-devotees. The all spiritual body cannot be wounded, and a devotee cannot become the enemy of the Lord. Had it been so, Bhishmadev would not have desired to have the very same Lord as the ultimate destination of his life. Had Bhishmadev been an enemy of the Lord, Lord Krishna could have annihilated him without even moving. There was no need to come before Bhishmadev with blood and wounds. But he did so because the warrior devotee wanted to see the transcendental beauty of the Lord decorated with wounds created by a pure devotee. This is the way of exchanging transcendental rasa or relation between the Lord and the servitor. By such dealings, both the Lord and the devotee become glorified in their respective positions. The Lord was so angry that Arjuna checked him when he was moving towards Bhishmadev, but in spite of Arjuna's checking, he proceeded towards Bhishmadev as a lover goes to a lover without caring for hindrances. Apparently, his determination was to kill Bhishmadev, but factually it was to please him as a great devotee of the Lord. The Lord is undoubtedly the deliverer of all conditioned souls. The Bhishmadev aspires to see. Can you start? Bhishmadev aspires to see the Lord in his personal feature. All pure devotees aspire for this. Hare Krishna.
Tumgati, are you on mute?
Sorry. So, like I was just doing the explanation. So here in this verse, Bhishmadev is calling himself Atataino. Atataino is, it means like a very bad man, sinful person. So why he is calling himself a sinful person? Because he was shooting on Krishna, right? So that's why he's calling, out of humility, he's calling himself as Atataino. But it was not like he was not doing anything wrong, right? Like it was the war, so he has to do that. But he is calling himself here as Atataino, which is very, very humble like attitude here Bhishma Pitama is showing. And the basic thing is like what he is saying, let my gati, let my destination be on the lotus feet of Mukunda. So here he is calling, like earlier he was calling Vijay Sakha, Parth Sakha, and Parth Sarthi, like so many names he has given to Krishna so far. So here it is saying Mukunda. Mukunda means one who awards salvation. Why salvation? Because like as we discussed, like he had delivered so many soldiers. He had delivered so many people on the war. So that's why here it is showing, let my destination be the let my gati be on the Mukunda. Okay, Mukunda is one who awards salvation. So the sequence, like as we all know, right, in the last one, what happens was like Krishna took the wheel of the chariot. Krishna took the wheel of the chariot and he was running towards Bhishma Pitama. He was running towards Bhishma Pitama. And so the Bhishma Pitama is describing in this verse, he is describing the beauty, like how you was running after me in the purport, like Prabhupada was explained how the lover, like here it is said that how the lover goes to a lover, like how that beautifully and that much attention, rave attention, Krishna was like going towards Bhishma Pitama. Arjun was trying to hold him. Arjun was trying to hold his leg, but he couldn't because Krishna really wants to deliver his devotee. And Bhishma Pitama was shooting arrows on him, and with his arrows, his like shield was broken. His shield was broken, and like the his he has so many wounds because he was shooting the arrows, so all the blood was oozing out from his wounds. So in this verse, Bhishma Pitama is describing that beautiful form of Shri Krishna, like how his shield was broken, still he was running towards Krishna, like the lover run towards the, and in the past verse, it was like the lion goes for elephant, that kind of beautiful explanation Prabhupada is giving here in this verse. So Arjun was trying to hold Krishna, but Krishna, it was described that Arjun was trying to hold, like for the 1 mile or 2 miles, he was holding his leg. He was trying to stop Krishna, but Krishna, like he really, really wants to help his devotees, Bhishma Pitama. And Bhishma Pitama, when Krishna was like very, very close distance, Bhishma Pitama was enjoying this beautiful scene of Krishna. That's what he is describing here. And then at the end, he just put his bow and arrow on the side, and he was just surrendered. Who doesn't want to be surrendered to Krishna? When Krishna is there in front of us to kill, who doesn't want to be have that kind of death, right? We all pray for that kind of death, that Krishna samne ho and then we will leave our body. So Bhishma Pitama, he left his arrow, he left his bow and arrow, and he's just enjoying calmly that beautiful darshan of Shri Krishna. This is what it is described. So, um, so do you think this is like all that Krishna was wounded and like Bhishma Pitama was shooting arrows on him? This is all real, like real? What do you think? Is it possible? Can somebody shoot an arrow on Krishna? Is it possible? No, this was just a drama. Drama in a sense. Drama actually, yeah, actually Bhishma Pitama was shooting arrows on him. But just to please his devotee, Bhishma Pitama, Krishna was doing all this. Krishna is Sat Chit Anand, right? Nobody can hit him, but just to please his devotee, he was doing all this drama. Okay, so this is like as a aspiring devotees, we should meditate on all these things, right? Sometimes people will think, oh, Krishna, anybody can shoot Krishna. No, it was just to please. This is a transcendental exchange between a devotee and a Lord. Okay, hope I am clear what I'm trying to say. So this is what, and here the Prabhupada has mentioned this also very important point. The astounding feature of such dealing is a devotee can please the Lord by playing the part of an enemy. So this is also very important. Sometimes we see that if we are in the opposition party, sometimes that's Krishna's plan, right? So because Bhishma Pitama is very favorable to Pandavas, but that was Krishna's plans to keep him in the Kauravas, to please Bhishma Pitama, because Bhishma Pitama really loves Krishna. So because in the later on here this word will also come, because Bhishma Pitama wants to have constant darshan of Lord, because when he was in the opposite party he can have the constant darshan of the Lord. Here somewhere in the description it came. Had Bhishma Dev been an enemy of the Lord, Lord Krishna could have annihilated him without even moving. So yeah, here it is Prabhupada is saying that if Bhishma Dev was his enemy, he could have annihilated him in any ways. There was no need to come before Bhishma Dev with blood and wounds. But he did so because the warrior devotee wanted to see the transcendental beauty of the Lord decorated with wounds created by a pure devotee. This is the way of exchanging transcendental rasa or relations between the Lord and the servitor. So, isn't it so beautiful? Like Krishna wants to have beautiful exchange with the devotees, with his pure devotees. So, yeah, so I think that's all. Anybody wants to add anything in this shloka? So basically here Bhishma Dev is praying, let my gati, let my destination be Lord Mukunda. Okay. Dear Krishna Prabhu, you want to add something here?
Yeah, beautiful purport. Of course, verse is very beautiful. So few things when we read this purport that comes out is uh, how can one be enemy of Krishna, right? So that is pretty much clarified that there is nobody who can be, or Krishna is not inimical to anyone. So we can understand, just like if parents or mother or father have 10 children, um, they might treat the children differently depending on the character behavior of the children, but internally they will have love for each one of them. So one example that comes in Srila Prabhupada gives is, let's say there is a feast going on in the family. There are mother, father, 10 children, and there is puri, let's say chole, paneer, halwa. But out of those 10 children, mother gives only dal and rice to one child, but the whole other feast, puri, halwa, kheer, paneer to other 9 children. So one may think, how can mother treat one child like that? But then we find out that child is sick. So out of care, out of concern, mother is giving that child only khichdi or dal chawal only, right? So we might see different circumstances or conditions for different people, but it doesn't mean that Krishna is partial or inimical to anyone. Depending on our conditioning, our surrender to Krishna, or our uh, character, we will get, or our karma will get different uh,
Food items.
yes, of or blessings or different reactions, and those all are like for our betterment. Another thing that I think that comes out in this purport is that bhav is pradhan. Our So there are two things, right? When we do anything, there is one is thing is action, kriya, and other thing is with what intention we are doing that karya, that kriya. So although it seems like a devotee is shooting arrows on the Lord, on his master, but what is the bhav of the devotee? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, just offer me patram phalam toyam, right? And I will be happy, pleased. But what can Bhishma Dev offer on the battlefield? Only thing he can offer is arrows. So those arrows are actually an offering to Krishna from Bhishma Dev, from a devotee.
Beautiful.
And like we explained, Krishna is Sachidananda Anand, so his body is spiritual. So those wounds or spots of blood, it's not like Krishna is getting hurt physically, because his body is not like us. It's not made of panchabhut. So in fact, the dust of the battlefield or these wounds or blood, they were like decoration, like shringar on the body of Shri Krishna. He was like looking even more beautiful. So many
Right.
beautiful pictures are there, right? There.
Right.
So that is how we can understand also. For example, gopis will how will how will gopis look at Krishna? They will have their loving glances. Sakhas will please Krishna by jumping on his shoulder, right? Like that kind of intimacy, or by fighting with Krishna during playtime, or snatching food from Krishna's mouth. So that's so bhava is important. So one takeaway that I was thinking about when you were reading the purport, or Anuradha Mataji was reading the purport, when we offer bhoga, one practical point we can take is when we offer bhoga at home, Krishna accepts the bhav. Why the food items are still there on the plate? That questions always comes
Right.
because Krishna is not taking away those food articles. He's accepting or absorbing the bhav, the love with which the devotee is offering. So we should be very mindful that it doesn't become a routine activity for us that we just put the plate there, chant mantra, and just leave the room. No, we our consciousness should be that we have made it for Krishna, we have prepared it for Krishna, and may Radharani, and we do all this service on behalf of our Gurudev and Radharani.
Right.
May they feed Krishna nicely with my little effort, so that consciousness should be there. So that's came to another word that I taino. Taino, just like why Bhishma Devi is considering himself as Attaino, because a servant should see what Krishna broke his vow. So the world may think, or people still even today who doesn't have this knowledge or the understanding of Krishna's pastimes, they still say, "Oh, Krishna broke his promise." So for Bhishma Dev, it was like criticism for his master that will happen in the future. That Krishna took the vow, but he's broke it. But who is a true servant? Who will always protect the dignity of his master. This is very, very important point. A true servant will always protect the dignity of his master. Then only he can be a true servant. And even more mature thinking is even if master has done something wrong in the external seemingly
Right.
way that may come out from the society point of view, or externally it might not be something which is very right. Still, a true servant will always protect his master. So Bhishmadev, by calling himself that I am the Attaino, I am I am creating uh, this torture by shooting on Arjuna, his the loving devotee of Krishna, and by shooting arrows on Krishna, I am the culprit. So he's protecting his master's dignity. Another very important point. So yeah, there are many many points. It's a long purport, but yeah, please continue. Another, yeah, Narsinga prayer also comes right, like how Prahlad Maharaj was also seeing the beauty of Bhagwan Narsingh Dev, even though Narsingh Dev was killing his father, but Prahlad Maharaj was not scared of this form of Krishna. In fact, he was singing. What do we sing? Um,
Interesting.
yeah, that he glorifies the beauty of his nails. Um, what was that? The part of that verse.
तब कर कमल
तव कर कमल वरे नखाम अद्भुत श्रृंगाम दालिता हिरण्य कशिपु तनु भृंगम. So, although Nrsimhadev is killing Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, as a pure devotee of Krishna, Bhagwan Nrsimhadev, he's looking at the beauty of his nails, that how beautiful his nails are looking. So another practical point is that no matter what situation we get in life, in spite of our bhakti, devotee always think that Krishna is doing it for my betterment. He can never think, which is not beneficial to me. That trust. Hare Krishna.
Add something?
Anyone has any point they can add?
I was just going to say, Prabhu, like that is a beautiful purport, and as you said, Bhishma Dev had in the battlefield all he could offer like arrows, but as a devotee, what we can offer to Krishna, we can glorify Krishna by chanting his name as a devotee, as a practicing devotee. We can read his instruction, serve the devotees, serve in the temple to glorify the Lord. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
कुटुम्ब आततात्रे धृतहयराश्मिनीतचिकृष्णीये भगवती रतिरस्तु मे मुमुषो यमहि निरक्षय हतागता स्वरूपम्. Anybody would like to recite?
Yeah, I can try. विजरत कुटुंब आततोत्रे धृत है रश्मिनित श्रिये क्षणीये भगवती रतिरस्तु मे मुमुर्षो यमहि अनिरीक्षय हता गतः स्वरूपम्.
Yeah. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. I concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjuna, who stood with a whip in his right hand and a bridle rope in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjuna's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death. Jai. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's only one page, so I think we can read. Yeah. Anybody would like to volunteer for purport? Pure devotee of the Lord constantly sees the
I
presence.
can read it.
Okay.
A pure devotee of the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A pure devotee of the Lord constantly sees the presence of the Lord within himself because of being transcendently related by loving service. Such a pure devotee cannot forget the Lord for a moment. This is called trance. The mystic yogi tries to concentrate upon the super soul by controlling the senses from all other engagements, and thus he ultimately attains samadhi. A devotee more easily attains samadhi or trance by constantly remembering the Lord's personal feature along with his holy name, fame, pastimes, etc. Therefore, the concentration of the mystic yogi and that of the devotee are not at the same level. The concentration of the concentration of the mystic is mechanical, whereas that of a pure devotee is natural in pure love and spontaneous affection. This is
Yeah.
Raghunagar Bhakti.
Yeah. Prabhuji, can I give example quickly here?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the pure devotee example about this samadhi. So I was listening in one lecture. So Prabhupada used to do with his health condition, he was supposed to do three main things, like three things very importantly, like every day. So one is like he has to take Ayurvedic medicines because of his health condition. He has to do the morning walks every day, must. And he used to take the massage, the mustard oil massage he used to take on his body. So like this example, a devotee, like in like we cannot compare a devotee and a mystic yogi. So while one incident happened, like Prabhupada was taking massage, like one of his Prabhupada's servant, he was doing massage on Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was thinking about Krishna, and he was saying he hold his like servant's hand while he was massaging on his back. And he said, if I can have a form, then why my Krishna cannot have the form? Why Mayavadis don't understand that Krishna has a form? So the point of what I was saying, he was on the meditation of Krishna. That was the like he was taking a massage. He could enjoy the massage. But at that time also he was constantly thinking about Krishna. So I just wanted to put that example here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was always in Krishna consciousness, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Nam, Roop, Leela, like it was the constant meditation for him. Like he used to think all the time like how he can defeat the Mayavadis. Like if I can have the form, then why Mayavadis don't understand that Krishna can have the
Mhm.
form? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, similarly, I think it reminds me of once Srila Prabhupada was in one of the Kumbh Mela.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, especially people in India, they are very fond of जादू चमत्कार. तो एक व्यक्ति आए, बोलते हैं, एक person comes and he says, he Srila Prabhupada, show me some चमत्कार. So as a Krishna devotee, we all know, although all these pure devotees are the greatest mystics, we
Right.
can't even imagine. They all, these all spiritual masters, they may look like very simple person who just come, stay with us, eat with us, do some katha and kirtan with us, and just talk very casually with us. But they have all the ashtasiddhis, and there are so many examples of that. So anyway, Srila Prabhupada thinks about it, and of course, he didn't want to create that convention of showing any uh, chamatkar. He says, "Don't you have even the eyes to see that I transformed these hippies in the Western world, and now they are following the principles of bhakti even better than Indians. Isn't that a chamatkar?"
Right, right.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So, and by the way, when the topic of Kumbh Mela comes, anyone knows why a Krishna devotee will go to Kumbh Mela or to the for the Kumbh Snan? Any ideas? We know general people will go for uh, to get rid of their sins, and then uh, the Ganga Snan, Yamuna Snan. But what is the consciousness of a Krishna devotee when they go to Kumbh Mela? It's an important point to understand. Otherwise, we will fall into the trap of karma kand.
Darshan of pure devotees. This
Okay.
is darshan
Anyone else?
association because when we go there, we have darshan of so many.
That we can have anywhere also.
Association of devotees.
That also we can have anywhere. Yeah, I mean they are minor points. Yeah, but what is the biggest point? Well, so usually we know most of the people are the main reason for to go to these Kumbh Snan is to get rid of our sins, right? To take dip in the holy waters of Ganga, Yamuna, and that's a fact. Our Shastra, it's based on the scriptures. We cannot deny that. But
Right.
the consciousness of Krishna Bhakt, pure Krishna Bhakt, of course we are not pure, so people still go who are following the Krishna Bhakti. But main reason is so that the Krishna Bhakta, the pure devotee, can go and distribute this transcendental knowledge to a lot of people at the same time. They are always looking for that opportunity to do the preaching. So, like, least
Okay.
effort, maximum output.
Okay.
That's why our ISKCON, one may question, why ISKCON puts a food distribution, why the ISKCON devotees go there. So ISKCON had a stall so that they can feed Krishna Prasadam to lakhs and lakhs of people every day and crores of people during the whole month. And two, distribute books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. We don't even have the counts how many books were distributed in this Kumbh Mela. So point is that once a devotee becomes a pure devotee of Krishna, पाप वाप के लिए कहीं जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. So that's not the idea. That's a minor like a bonus or maybe minor advantage. But that's the real consciousness of. So I just wanted to bring up that point because otherwise sometimes we fall into this trap of karma kanda. Ki, this yagna, that yagna, that bath. So those things are once surrendered to Krishna 100%, sins are gone from that day right away. All sins are burned. Krishna takes away all our sins. He takes control of our lives. So where were we?
Then only.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we were here, the concentration of the mystic.
The concentration of the mystic is mechanical, whereas that of the pure devotee is natural in pure love and spontaneous affection. Bhishma Dev was a pure devotee, and as a military marshal, he constantly remembered the battlefield feature of the Lord as Parth Sarthi, the chariot driver of Arjuna. Therefore, the Lord's pastime as Parth Sarthi is also eternal. The pastimes of the Lord pastimes at Parth Sarthi is also eternal. What does it mean? It means, I heard once that there is a spiritual Vaikuntha planet where Krishna in the Parth Sarthi form is constantly, eternally fighting with Bhishma Dev. This we can't even comprehend that. That's the only lila going on in this Vaikuntha planet, where Krishna has this Parth Sarthi form and they're enjoying. Bhishma Dev, Arjun is there, Bhishma Dev is there, Sri Krishna in the Parth Sarthi form is there, and eternally they are enjoying that pastime. So that's why it is eternal. The pastimes of the Lord, beginning from his birth at the prison house of Kamsa up to the Musha Lila at the end, all move one after another in all universes. So all these leelas are happening in all the universes, just as the clock had moved from one point to another. And in such pastimes, his associates like Pandavas and Bhishma are constant eternal companions. So Bhishma Dev never forget. So Bhishma Dev never forgot the beautiful feature of the Lord as Parthasarthi, which even Arjuna couldn't see. Arjuna was behind the beautiful Parthasarthi. Wow. While Bhishma Dev was just in front of the Lord. As far as the military feature of the Lord is concerned, Bhishma observed with this with more relish than Arjuna.
Yeah.
Anyone else can read?
I can.
Hare Krishna.
All the soldiers and persons of the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original spiritual form, like the Lord alter their death because of the causeless mercy of the Lord. They were able to see him face to face on the occasion. The conditioned souls rotating in the evolutionary cycle from the aquatics up to the form of Brahma are all in the form of Maya, or the form obtained by one's own actions and awarded by material nature. The material forms of the conditioned souls are all foreign dresses, and when the conditioned soul becomes liberated from the clutches of material energy, he attains his original form. The impersonalist wants to attain the impersonal Brahman effluence of the Lord, but that is not all congenial to the living sparks, parts, and parcels of the Lord. Therefore, the impersonalists again fall down and get material forms, which are all false to the spirit soul. A spirit soul form like the Lord's, either two-handed or four-handed, is attained by the devotees of the Lord, either in the Vaikunthas or in the Golaka planet, according to the original nature of this soul. This form, which is 100% spiritual in the Swarupa of the living being, and all the living beings who participated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on both sides attained their Swarupa as confirmed by Bhishma Deva. So Lord Shri Krishna was not merciful only to the Pandavas, he was also merciful to the other parties because all of them attained the same result. Bhishma Deva wanted the same facility also, and that was his prayer to the Lord. Although his position as an associate of the Lord is assured in these circumstances. The conclusion is that whoever dies looking on the personality of Godhead within or without attains his Swarupa, which is the highest perfection of life, which is the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you, Uncle. So beautiful. So Prabhupada described everything here. So nothing much to say. Hare Krishna Prabhu, you want to take?
No, you continue.
No, so basically here, like in the purport, the explanation of like whosoever like they fought in the war, they got delivered. They went to the Vaikuntha Lok, either on the opposition party also. And here like in this shloka, Vijay Ratha Kutumba. So Kutumba is like the object of protection, like Krishna was protecting Arjun like his kutumba, like like we take care of our family and everything. So Krishna was like again and again protecting. There were so many instances in the battle, like Krishna was protecting him so many times. He protected him, he saved him. So this is what it is described here, like Vijay Ratha Kutumba, like Arjuna Vijay, like Arjun, he called Arjun Vijay Rath, how he was protecting the chariot of your Arjun by having a whip in one hand and by controlling the horses from the other, and how you was controlling your dear Arjun again and again. And in this context, like once Prabhupada went to somebody, one of the like devotees' house in Kurukshetra, like the where the war happened. So he went to his house. So like in the house there were like big like huge pictures of all the ancestors. Like usually like olden times we used to keep, right, all the grandparents pictures like hang on the wall. So Prabhupada saw very big pictures, and like because they were from the military family and all those things, like so while they were taking prasad, so devotee he asked Prabhupada, I have like a kind of dream, and I sometimes I had a feeling that I was in the war of Kurukshetra. So Prabhupada was like, what? So he said, yeah, Prabhupada, sometimes I had a feeling that I was in the Kurukshetra war. So Prabhupada said, okay, so what? So he said, but I think I was on the Kauravas side. So Prabhupada said, bogus. If you was in the war, then you would be delivered. Nobody. So here, the line here, the conclusion is that whoever dies looking on the personality of God, Godhead, within or without, like within or without here, like here, what I meant to say, in the war, they ultimately achieve the Vaikuntha Lok. This is what Prabhupada stamped it with that. Prabhupada said, bogus. If you would have been in the war, then you would have not been come into this material world. So, yeah, so this is what beautifully. And Krishna Prabhu, you want to add something?
No, that is a wonderful story, actually. I never heard it. It was a wonderful pastime.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you got the right keyword, kutumba. That's a very important word here. जैसे इंडिया में बोलते हैं ना मेरा कुटुंब, what is the meaning of kutumb? My closest family, right? So in this context, um, Sri Bhishma Dev is saying that he's declaring correctly that Krishna's kutumb in Krishna's kutumb, or Krishna included Arjuna as his kutumba, as a part of his family. Meaning what? Of course, they were blood relationship anyway, um, from the material point of view. But kutumba here means Bhagwan Shri Krishna and his devotees, and like Nich Parikars, who assist him, who appears with him for his during his pastimes, like Arjuna, Pandavas, Mother Kunti, in fact, even Bhishma Dev. But Bhishma Dev is not including himself in that kutumb out of humility. Like we saw in the previous verse, he's keeping himself low as somebody who is not able to serve Krishna favorably. And that's the sign of a pure devotee. Pure devotee will always keep himself, because pure devotees have so much appetite for seva. They want to do so much seva that no matter how much they do, they will always feel they have not done enough for their master. So he's saying that, and kutumba means that because it is Krishna's kutumba, then Krishna will do anything possible to protect his kutumba. So he knew that Krishna will do anything to protect Arjuna and Pandavas. And like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Nama Bhakt Pranashyanti, my devotee will never perish. Hmm? Never perish. Never. He promises in Bhagavad Gita कि मेरे भक्त का कभी भी नाश नहीं होगा. नाश नहीं होगा मतलब कि no matter what kind of situation will come, Krishna will always protect his kutumba. So the point, what comes to me here is that we should try to become part of Krishna's kutumb. And if we want to become the part of his kutumb, if we want to, like we say, Sankirtan movement, Krishna appears as Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And anyone who is assisting or serving in any way to serve the mission of Bhagwan Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they become part of his Nich Parikar, meaning his kutumba, and we become part of his Leela. That Leela is still going on because this movement has not stopped after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed. That movement he kept on spreading more and more. So whoever becomes part of that movement and assist that movement, they become Krishna's kutumba. So yes, so we should think and come up with ways, assist in this Sankirtan movement. And the most simplest thing we can do is to help and assist in spreading Hari Nam Sankirtan. कोई हमको बड़ा बड़ा कुछ प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करना है कि ये कुछ बड़ा कुछ कुछ धुआंधार कुछ काम करना है, नहीं. Just simply we have to become purified ourselves by chanting. This is the foremost seva we have. Harinam Jap. and spread and participate in Harinam Sankirtan, because that's the only thing that will deliver us in this Kali Yuga, and that can make us part of Krishna's Kutumba. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, so beautiful. So this line, Bhagavati Ratir Astu Me Mumashru, one who is about to die, they should let their attraction, Rati, Mati, and Gati on Shri Krishna. So let's sing one beautiful bhajan, which Maharaj sings, like it's in Hindi. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Tana chuta maro pran prabhu eva mangu cho. Actually, it's in Gujarati. So everybody understand this? Bhakti kartana chuta maro pran prabhu eva mangu cho.
हाँ, ये लाइन तो समझ में आ गया. I think कि I'm praying that may I leave my body while doing devotional service.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very beautiful. And maybe some other time. It's already 8:39.
Translation भी है क्या?
नहीं, इसका translation. Actually, हिंदी ही है.
नहीं है तो गुजराती.
ठीक है, चलो कोई नहीं. Next time maybe. Some other time with the translation. Okay, so anybody wants to share something? Any realization, anything? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is everybody there?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Nice class.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri. Yeah, very nice class and beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So I think we should meditate constantly, like Bhishma Dev is remembering, so that we can remember at the last minute. Okay, so we will
Can I
end.
just say a couple of takeaways so that we can conclude?
Yeah. Any
Yeah, one is
takeaway?
that the bhav, that bhav is more important than kriya. Both are important. That both service and the intention behind the service. And second one, which was how to become the part of Krishna's kutum, like Bhishma Dev is glorifying Arjuna, so that
Right.
Krishna can always protect us. Not that we want him to be in our service or protecting us, but if we become part of his kutumba, it means that he has accepted us as his pure devotee. So chanting and sankirtan, those are the two foundations, two main pillars. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Please help me.
Everyone should have at least 1 point. Sorry, I mean, but no, we can even repeat what Srila Prabhupada said or somebody else said. We can always repeat, but at least 1 or 2 takeaways we all should have from each class.
Hare Krishna. And
Hare Krishna.
concentration at the time of death should be towards Krishna.
हरी बोल. आपने ऐसे पकड़ लिया दीदी?
Yeah.
But for that, we have to practice now, right, Didi?
Yeah, that's important.
अच्छा, एक चीज और बोलो अगर 1 मिनट हो सबके पास. मैंने बहुत अच्छा चीज सुना रिसेंटली कि लोग बोलते हैं कि भीष्म देव हैज द इच्छा मृत्यु वरदान. But actually we all have that vardhan, but we don't even think about it. We don't even pray for it. So one devotee was very nicely explaining that who is stopping us to pray to Krishna? Ki what kind of death we want.
Right.
Many devotees are scared. कैसा death होगा, उसमें भगवान होंगे नहीं होंगे, दर्शन होंगे नहीं होंगे. But we don't know how to pray correctly. So that was a beautiful reminder that only Bhishma Dev didn't have the Iksha Mrityu Vardhan. We all have it. We all can daily pray depending on what kind of death we want as servant of Krishna. So that's a beautiful. When you said concentration, that brought that memory to me. That's a beautiful point.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, anybody else?
हमारी मति, रति और गति हमेशा भगवान में रहे at the time of death.
Yeah. Good. Thank you, Anuradha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we should end here, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think we should end here. Vancha kalpatarubrasha kripa sindhubhaivacha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hari bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna all.
Mm-hmm.